So let's go over how a scene is shot. Let's look at that commercial for Captain Crunch. We're looking at an animation disc, and it's got top pegs on it, and these pegs can slide side to side. And what we have on the first drawing is Captain Crunch standing there, and he's on a long cell. I don't have the cell, I have the drawing. And we have Jean Lafoot, who's in a run cycle, running towards the captain. And he's on bottom pegs. So he is running in place, basically. And the captain pans into the shot. And at the point when he gets into the shot with Jean Lafoot, we look at the exposure sheets, and the sheets have Jean Lafoot here running. And that's a cycle. It's 12 drawings. As he gets to the captain on C1, here, Jean Lafoot number 16, we take off C1 because at that point, Jean is going to grab the captain and the cameraman would then take off that cell of Jean. He would take off this cell of the captain, and we would be left with just the captain. I'll put down a sheet of paper so you can see it better. You'd be left with just the captain here being grabbed by Jean. And they've combined the two drawings onto one cell. That just makes it easier. And the cameraman would then click his camera shutter release, take a picture of that. He's been taking pictures this whole time of the other cells of Jean and the captain. And then you put down this cell, take a picture of this as Jean picks up the captain. And the captain turns as he's being lifted up. And he turns the captain around. Now, what the camera sees that's shooting the animation is just this. It's seeing just here. So it's a tighter field. And you wouldn't see the edges of the cell. You wouldn't see the peg bars. So he picks them up and turns them around. So he's going to throw them overhead. I've got all these cells on the other side. Okay, so he throws them up, and he's going to shake them up a bit. And he's going to pull them down. So let's skip ahead a few. And comes eye to eye with him. Now, if you turn the cells over, you see that they are painted on the back very carefully, very thin coats of paint. It's not globbing at all. It's a big skill to learn how to do cell painting and hand inking. These cells are hand inked. So someone's actually using a quill pen dipped in ink and tracing every line on top of the cell. Then a cell painter is painting it on the back. Skills that are kind of lost these days. So that's how commercials are shot. The cameraman is studying the exposure sheets the whole time and keeping an eye on the sheets. That was drawing 27, which is here. And he would hold that for 2 frames. Then he would put on drawing 28 all the way down. At this point, drawing 38, the captain goes on his own cell level, probably because he's not touching Jean at that point, and going into his own action. And come down to the end of the scene. Now, what some animators would do at the point where the captain leaves Jean here, some animators would number the captain's drawings the same number as Jean's number. So this would have been C38 with L38. And that would have told everybody down the line, at some studios, for some animators, that these drawings work together instead of having to look at the sheets and figure it out. But that's just one way of working it. Different animators work differently at different places. And the whole time all this is going on, there's dialogue with Jean Lafoot yelling at the captain to give me the names. Up here, the run cycle is on 1s because the camera is panning. Top pegs are panning left. That means the background is panning to the left. So when you see feet touching the ground and you're doing a walk or a run, you have to do it on 1s or else the illusion is lost and you'll see the feet slipping. As the background moves smoothly, the feet will stay for 1 frame, then they'll move. And they'll stay for 1 frame, then they'll move. So this is a reason that we put the animation on 1s for walks and runs when the background is panning. So there is our animation lesson today, is how does camera work to get the shots done. So until next time, keep drawing and keep having fun, and we'll see you with maybe a different part of the scene and the rest of how it works.